What are we doing here, mate?
So it's going to swap out an induction kit just for...
Yeah, this EP3 here today, it's had a back box, solid
it had a twin exit back box, 3-inch system, a twin inch back box, and inside it was V'd inside the box. We finished on 240 last time. Anyone this has got cams and everything, so we're expecting around the 260 mark. So we finished at 242, I think, last time. Yeah. We've changed it for a solid fab back box because he had a custom 3-inch centre section, which I don't believe was the problem. I believe it was the back box. So we swapped it out for a solid fab back box, modified it to fit this morning, and he's got a Tegular air box,
which seems to be made its way to the floor.
So I just want to take that out. I want to put one of our induction kits on. I'm just going to run it back to back.
Yeah.
And just see if there's any increase. If there's not, there's not. If there is, there is. So I just want to, just as a technical exercise, I want to try it.
Very good. Okay. Right. Let's do that.
Goodies.
Jeddo's got the goodies. Right, EP3 back again. Second time we've seen it.
Yeah, I think we covered it a little bit earlier, didn't we? We were saying, yeah, it had a custom 3-inch exhaust on it, which looked great quality, but the back box was a twin exit. We talked about it originally when the car was here first time round, saying we felt the back box was restriction because the rest of the exhaust obviously was big, so obviously it couldn't necessarily be that, or didn't believe it was that, obviously.
Because it had cams.
Yeah, because it had cams in it as well, so obviously thinking it was not obviously going to make the power. So I think we finished on 242 last time, I think was where we finished.
Well, I've actually got his graph here.
Yeah, 242, I'm positive it was. I had a look earlier.
241.3.
Oh, okay, 241.3.
Good memory, though, good memory.
Yeah, so anyway, yeah, so we finished there. Customer was happy, took the car away, loved it, everything else. But what he did do was get himself a solid fab 3-inch back box.
Which looks lovely.
Which is great. Now, obviously, that wasn't ever going to necessarily mate up to, obviously, his centre section, which he knew. So he asked us if he could book in, modify the exhaust, obviously, to fit the centre section, which he got. So we did that this morning, first thing. And cut open his original back box to have a look. So we'll probably get down and take some pictures of that, so obviously people can have a look inside. So we had a look. Definitely
they'll be on the end.
Inside it came through, and then had a V inside the box. I believe that obviously where that is was obviously smaller diameter, plus obviously it's got to split into two, which obviously creates turbulence in there, which is creating a restriction. Well, we've basically proved that, because the only thing really we've changed on this car, we did put one of our induction kits on it, but admittedly it was already making power over and above the other back box that was on, and then we put one of our induction kits on, and we finished on 252. Now, something to be said on this car is it has got a shorter final drive in it, which does affect the power figures that the car gets. So for anyone that's going to be out there saying, oh, I'll be upset if I didn't get 260, in a sense, it probably has made the 260. Where the car is making less is where the final drive is shorter. So once the final drive is shorter, that down gears, so therefore you don't get a true one-to-one between the engine and box, which obviously affects power. So we've seen that many times before. You can have a car in, you'll map it, they'll make further modifications, change the final drive, make less power than they did before. They've not made less power than they did before. But because
it's not a true comparison, because how a dyno works.
That's right. Now, obviously, if this had the same gearing in it, all told, if it had standard gearing in it before, and then obviously did it now, then there may be a difference. Obviously, this gearing's been in last time and this time, so we can prove the gains the car's made, which is fine. But what I'm saying is we've not made, say, the 260 that you would expect from the cams and everything, just based on the fact that the final drive is shorter. So I don't believe there's a problem with the car anymore. I believe at this point now the final drive has taken that power down by 8 brake, or around the 8 brake horsepower, so to speak. If it was on a final drive, I think we'd have made the 260.
Would that affect it if it was on a hub dyno?
Yes, exactly the same. You're still down gearing through the gear ratios. We did, like I say, we did.
Engine dyno would be the only way to go, wouldn't it?
Yeah, well, it would at that point. Yeah, would be a true accurate reflection. But obviously, you can't do that. We can only.
What I'm saying is, if you wanted a before and after, and still have those parameters, that would have to be on an engine dyno.
Yeah, it would. Yeah. But obviously, once say for example, if you came here and you ran and you made 260 and you went away and changed your final drive and then come back,
you make 250
and then make 250, you've not lost 10 brake horsepower. It's just the way it's geared. The dyno is reading that. Yeah, it's the way it's measured. It's reading that difference. So yeah, like I say, I think customer's really happy. I've just had a quick chat with him. He said he's over the moon. He's made that bit of extra power that he wanted. So his money's been well spent.
Indeed.
Lovely car, very clean. I like it in here.
I like that steering wheel.
Yeah, I like the steering wheel. I also like these seats as well. Changed 2 front seats, some nice seats, and took the rear seats out. Put a little bar in there and a few bits. It looks very pleasant.
Looks like a JC Club Sport kit, doesn't it?
Yeah.
Shout out to JC Club Sport. Yeah, what a nice car. And it was a bit cold in the dark. No, I'm only joking. Right, let's go look at.
He's not joking.
No, I am only joking. It's only for the lads at home that laugh because I'm freezing and ask me on the live chat if I'm cold.
Yeah, always.
Yeah, I'm cold.
We could just assume that he's cold.
Yeah, just assume that.
It's just the best way.
Yeah.
Though he's not got his jacket on, so he can't be that cold.
I feel like Iceman out there, and he feels like the Human Torch in here.
To be fair, look, if you actually look down at the temperature
you're so hot, it's on cold.
Yeah, I actually turned that down. It was getting a bit warm in here, and I thought I'm gonna turn that down.
Your knob's all warm.
Is it?
That's the measure of how cold it is on one of these cars. The metal knob. And I'm telling you, Rich, your knob is well warm.
Yeah. You touch it and you stick to it like if you look at an RC pole.
What?
Like Dumber and Dumber when they're on the ski lift and he got his tongue stuck to the ski lift.
Do you want me to wet myself on you?
No, not really.
That's how cold I am out there. Right. Anyway, let's look at the graph.
Yeah.
Let's do it.
Okay, so as we always say, red line is as you came in and blue line is as you leave. So we're happy today to finish on 252 brake horsepower, up from 241. So there we go. Thanks for getting to the end of the video, guys. Like and subscribe and all that jazz. And there's another one in the bag. There's the full team. Look at that. The full team. Right, and we shall we'll see you on the next one. Code word. Should we just go with code word Uncle Keith, because he's one of my favourites. Code word Uncle Keith.
And I'll say it again. Life moves pretty fast.